Isaac the ICU doctor from Iowa. Are you okay, Isaac? Not sure, Dad. I think I have a fever and I cannot breathe very well. Let me check. Isaac's dad is a doctor, so he checked his temperature and noticed that Isaac had a fever. He was not breathing very well and looked very tired. We must go to the emergency room right now, son. Isaac's dad drove him to the emergency room where the other doctors checked him, and they found that Isaac had the flu. His breathing was getting more difficult, so they intubated him. They attached different wires to Isaac's fingers and arm to check on his heartbeat and oxygen levels. Isaac stayed in the ICU for 2 days. On the third day, Isaac felt much better, so he was moved to another room. His mom and dad were by his bedside. How long have I been in the hospital, Dad? You spent 2 days in the ICU and 2 days in this room, son. What is the ICU, Dad? It is a special place in the hospital where intensive care is given to a patient. It is usually called a unit, so that is why they call it the intensive care unit, or ICU for short. Regular care is given in the hospital when someone's life is not in danger. However, when there is a life-threatening situation, intensive care is needed. Like what, Dad? Like the situation you were in, son. You had difficulty breathing. That is a very serious condition. If oxygen cannot reach the body properly, serious damage can happen. There are many other serious conditions where people need intensive care, like if the heart stops beating, or if someone becomes unconscious, or if a serious injury happens to the body. Intensive care is given so the person is stabilized and could be moved to regular care. Is that the same as the emergency room, Dad? Not exactly, son. The emergency room is for emergencies that are not life-threatening, like if someone broke their arm or leg, or had a cut that needs stitching. Someone also could get hurt from a gun, or fireworks, or a fire. However, their injuries are not threatening their life, so they go to the emergency room for care. What happens if someone broke their arm, Dad? They will be in a lot of pain, son. They will need to be transported to the emergency room in a hospital. The ER doctor will ask for an X-ray image of the broken arm to know where and how it is broken, so they can fix it properly. How does the doctor fix a broken arm, Dad? They put it back in the way it should naturally be and wait for it to heal. Our bodies heal after injuries, and it is important that healing happens correctly. We don't want someone's arm to heal while it is pointing backwards. That is not the normal shape of the arm. While I was in the ICU room, I heard someone crying and complaining that their stomach hurt. Did you hear that too, Dad? Yes, son. I was there. It was a little girl who drank detergent by mistake. Detergents look and smell nice, so some kids think they can drink them. All detergent bottles say, keep out of reach of children. However, many detergents and hazardous materials could be within reach of children, which is dangerous and can send someone to the emergency room. How did you become a doctor, Dad? I went to medical school, son, and did a lot of studying and exams. Was it easy, Dad? Nothing is easy, son. We need to work to get what we want. It was difficult in the beginning with the terminology or medical words I didn't know before, like cardiology, which means studying the heart, or pulmonology, which means studying the lungs, and dermatology, which means studying the skin. There are many organs in the human body, so we have to study how they function normally, then study what kinds of illnesses that can happen to them and how to treat them. So, you read a lot of books, Dad? I did, son. However, to become a doctor, you need to also practice what you are learning, not just read books. We spend many hours in different sections or units or wards in a hospital, like the lung section, the heart section, in the babies and kids section, and help patients who have illnesses related to each section. It sounds easy when you say heart, lung, skin, and babies, Dad. Why use complicated words? Because there is a lot to learn, son. Simple words are used to describe something to a patient who does not know medicine. Doctors learn about medicine to treat people, and they use the medical language to do that because it is faster to describe something. For example, if someone has irregular heartbeats, we call that arrhythmia, or if they have a long-term illness that affects the airways, we call that asthma. It is quicker to describe a condition or something using these medical words. Do you have to know all the scientific words, Dad? Doctors specialize, son. There is no doctor who is a specialist in everything. Some doctors become cardiologists or heart doctors, others become pediatricians or babies and kids doctors, and others become orthopedic surgeons or bones and muscles doctors. The human body is very complicated and has a lot of things working at the same time, so doctors become specialists in one part of the body and become good at treating it. Do you like being a doctor, Dad? I love it, son. It feels great to be able to help people. I work long hours, but that brings me happiness when I know I helped someone. Also, the pay is good. What should I do to become a doctor, Dad? You have to be good in school, son. Study well, learn about the human body, and if you face something difficult, don't give up. Studying medicine is about being patient, as in giving it time to happen. Don't be upset because things don't happen quickly. Learning takes time. You also need to love helping people. I always help my classmates and neighbors, Dad. That is great, son. That evening, Isaac and his parents went home, and they went to sleep. Isaac had a dream. Next morning, he went to wake his mom and dad up to tell them about his dream. Mom, Dad, I had a dream last night. Great to see you up early and feeling well, Isaac, Dad said. Let me check your temperature. It is normal. What did you see in your dream? I became a doctor, Dad, just like you. I was in the ICU helping patients who could not breathe. Some had a lot of chest pain, and some people came in after they had a car accident. I saved many lives. It feels great, Dad. I hope you grow up and become a doctor, son. I hope so too. Mom and Dad, I can't wait.